I'm an addict, and there's no such thing as a former addict. I'm addicted to cocaine, and I used to mix it with marijuana.
All new at 6, erasing the stigma. A Buffalo City Court judge has no problem speaking about his past because he says it's an important part of his future. We first introduced you to Judge Craig Hanna in September when News 4 took an inside look at Buffalo's Opioid Court.
Now, what we didn't tell you then is that Judge Hanna has something in common with the men and women in his courtroom. He, too, is battling addiction. News 4's Jen Schatz has the story tonight. Jen?
Well, Dave, City Court Judge Craig Hanna has been sober for 18 years, and you heard him. He doesn't use the term former addict. He says anyone who's winning the fight against addiction knows you measure success just one day at a time. For him, being open about his past is a way to connect with his defendants, and he says it also helps keep him clean. In Judge Craig Hanna's Opioid Court, it's hard not to notice the connection he has with defendants. Sometimes the conversations are laid back, other times he's giving tough love. But there's a bond, an understanding that's hard to miss. Part of that is because defendants here have to report daily for at least 30 days. But Hanna also shares a struggle with the people he helps.
Sometimes the best coach is a former player, because you can tell them the insights of things that happen. You can tell them at 2 o'clock in the morning when that demon calls that there's other ways you can handle that.
Like the men and women who approach his bench, Judge Hanna is an addict. He's addicted to cocaine. He's been sober for 18 years, but he's careful not to be overconfident, something he teaches his defendants.
Most of them look at me and that's a complete surprise. And they're just like, well, you're a former addict. It's like, well, no, I'm an addict just like you are. And they said, well, why do you say that? I was like, because if you think you're bigger than this, that's when it comes back and hits you like a sledgehammer.
An arrest overseas and being emotionally cut off from his mother was the beginning of Hanna's recovery.
When you see that your main supporter is kind of telling you, I'm about to wash my hands with you, that was the impetus.
Hanna doesn't believe you have to hit rock bottom to get clean, and it's something he wants to help the people in his courtroom avoid. Opioid Court, he says, is also a two-way street.
This is helping me stay clean as well, because you tell people your story, and you let them know that there's really no difference between me and them. Only difference is time.
Hanna says being open about his battle is taking the veil of what addiction really is. It's a disease that can affect a judge as easily as it can someone on the street. In 5 months since Opioid Court kicked off, none of the defendants have died of an overdose. And of course, that's been the goal of this entire program. Live in the studio tonight, Jen Schatz, News 4 at 6.